All right, today we're taking a trip to southern Germany. We're going to uncover some of those hidden lessons in the language that really separate a tourist from someone who sounds, well, a little more like a local. And it all kicks off with a single, massive cheer. Okay, picture this. You're at Oktoberfest in Munich. The band stops, this song called Ein Prosit kicks in, and literally thousands of people raise their glasses. And they don't just say cheers. Nope. They count it out in the local Bavarian dialect. 1, 2, 3, drink up. This isn't just some toast, you know? It's a whole experience. So, to get the inside scoop, we're going to tag along with two travelers, Ralf and Mia, as they navigate this exact world. Their journey is going to be our journey. And by listening in on their conversations, we're going to crack the code on some key German concepts that are hiding in plain sight, right in their everyday chats. You know that toast we just heard? It's all about something called Gemütlichkeit. Now, there's no perfect one-word translation in English, but it's this feeling of warmth, coziness, and just good-natured friendliness. It's really the soul of a German beer hall, and it's our first big clue that the language and the culture here are totally connected. Okay, first stop on our tour. We're with Ralf and Mia as they land in Munich, the heart of Bavaria, all set for Oktoberfest. The city is just buzzing with energy, and right off the bat, they run into a question that seems simple, but trips up so many people learning German. Sounds easy, doesn't it? To know. But in German, well, it's not quite that simple. See, the way you know a fact is totally different from the way you know a person or a place. And this is one of the very first hurdles Ralf and Mia have to jump over. It's a really crucial one. So here's the breakdown. Wissen is for your brain. Think facts, data, information. Kennen is for your gut, your experience. It's about being familiar with people, places, things. So you wissen a phone number, right? But you kennen a city. Okay, so check this out. Mia suggests renting bikes, and Ralf just goes, Ich weiß nicht. I don't know. He's talking about a piece of information here, right? He doesn't have the facts to make a decision. That is a textbook perfect use of wissen. But then, just a moment later, they decide to take the subway. And he asks Mia, Kennst du die U-Bahn hier? Are you familiar with the subway here? See? He's not asking if she knows the fact that a subway exists. He's asking if she's personally familiar with it, if she's used it before. Huge difference, right? It's all about the context. Now, since we're talking Oktoberfest, we have to talk about the beer. Of course we do. But there's this really fascinating secret hiding inside Germany's most famous law about beer. It's a secret that ties together history, tradition, and science. This is the legendary beer purity law, the Reinheitsgebot, all the way back from 1516. I mean, this thing is a huge source of national pride. And for more than 500 years, it has stated that real German beer can only have three things: barley, hops, and water. Simple, pure, perfect. Or is it? Okay, pop quiz time. If you only have barley, hops, and water, you don't actually have beer. You've got what, like hoppy barley tea? There's a critical, absolutely essential ingredient missing from this ancient recipe. Any ideas what it could be? It's yeast. In German, Hefe. I mean, think about it. Without yeast, there's no fermentation. That means no alcohol, no bubbles, no beer. So why in the world would the most famous beer law in history leave out the single most important ingredient? Well, the answer is science. Or, the lack of it back then. In 1516, nobody even knew yeast existed. Brewers knew that if they left their mixture out, something kind of magical would happen. But those tiny microscopic spores doing all the work, totally invisible. It took until the 1800s for scientists like Louis Pasteur to finally figure out what was really going on with fermentation. All right, so let's leave the buzz of Munich behind. Ralf and Mia are now traveling to Rothenburg ob der Tauber, which is this picture-perfect medieval town. It's like stepping back in time. And it's here, in this incredible historic setting, that another piece of the German language puzzle starts to fall into place. So as they're planning their day, Mia says to Ralf, Manchmal fährst du zu schnell. Sometimes you travel too fast. Now listen really closely to that verb fährst. The basic verb is fahren, with a nice ah sound, but when she uses it with du, with you, that a suddenly changes to an e. Why does it do that? This little change introduces us to a super common feature in German verbs that are basically, Well, they're linguistic shapeshifters. They don't just change their endings, they change their form right in the middle. So here's the deal. There's a whole group of common German verbs where when you're talking about you, the informal du, or he, she, it, er, sie, es, the main vowel in the middle of the word literally changes. The sound changes, the spelling changes, the whole thing. This table for the verb fahren shows it perfectly. See how for almost everyone, that vowel stays a nice simple a. Ich fahre, wir fahren. But bam, look at du and er, sie, es. It morphs into that with the 2 dots. This is one of those patterns you just have to train your ear to catch. Now, the good news here is that these changes aren't random. They follow predictable patterns. So an ah often becomes an An e might become a short e, like geben becomes gibst, or it might become a long e, like sehen becomes siehst. Once you see these patterns a few times, you really start to expect them. All right, your turn. Let's try a quick one. We've got 2 verbs, essen, to eat, and empfehlen, to recommend. How would you change those for do? Think about it for a second. The correct forms are ist and empfiehlst. You always eat the sauerbraten, but what other dish do you recommend? Nicely done. Okay, so as we wrap up our trip with Ralf and Mia, what have we actually figured out? Well, this isn't just about a bunch of random grammar rules. We've actually put together a pretty handy toolkit for understanding German out there in the wild. So, let's recap what's in your new toolkit. Step 1, know your knowing. Is it a fact? That's wissen. Is it familiarity? That's kennen. Step 2, watch out for the shapeshifters. Listen for those vowel changes with do and er, sie, is. And step 3, let context be your compass. The situation will almost always point you to the right word. And really, that's what this is all about, isn't it? Every little grammar rule, every cultural tidbit like Gemütlichkeit, it's not just something to memorize for a test. It's like opening a new window and getting a completely different view of the world. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question. We've seen how German grammar reflects a very specific way of thinking about things like knowledge and action. So it makes you wonder, right? What other cultural secrets are hiding in the grammar of all the other languages out there, just waiting for us to find them?